Hello Capricorn, welcome to your 2024 forecast. Now you can return to this video at any course throughout the year to see where you've been, where you're heading. Okay, we will start off with a theme for the whole year. We'll get a cross of truth to find out where your trajectory lies in terms of what you are focusing on this year and any challenges that are coming up. And we're going to pick a card for each month of the year, so you can tap into this video at any point that you choose. All right, and then of course we'll get some guidance from Spirit for the whole year. All right, so first of all, we're going to get a theme for the year from the Sacred Destiny deck. Beautiful Capricorns, let us see what is coming up for you 2024. Please remember that energies are non-gender specific. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. I'm not taking jumpers out of the deck because I only want one card. Okay, Capricorn. The theme for the year is going forward. Okay, so we have just like this forward growth for you. Abundance is coming to light. There may be lots of travel as well for you over the course of 2024. But everywhere shows this momentum, this drive forward, adding on what you've learned, moving to onwards and upwards, basically, is the theme of the year. Now we're going to be using my deck for a card for each month of the year. Okay, I'm going to lay it out first and I'll go over it afterwards, so just bear with me. Okay. Okay. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Got a lot of major arcanas coming up in this deck, and the reason I raised my eyebrows is because I think that's January, February, March, April, May, June, July you have the same card as Taurus, actually, in the same position, which is kind of interesting. But of course both are earth signs as well. I will talk about that when I get to it. I'm just going to do the cross of truth to tell me basically what you're heading for in 2024 for your highest good. And then I will run through each of the months. Okay. Kind position, nice. The desire, yes. What's working in your favor, the challenge, and the outcome. Okay, first of all, Capricorn is looking pretty damn strong. Okay, so let's go through each of the months for you. Beautiful card to be starting the year on. Of course, it is being your birthday season, December, moving into January. So this doesn't surprise me whatsoever that the sun is shining in your sign and you are feeling all the energy of the Empress. Now, the Empress is to do with the divine feminine, absolute infinite abundance, creativity, nurturing, self-healing, okay, bringing things into birth. So you're really going to be in a space in January of knowing how to receive. Okay, perhaps in the past it was always you doing, and now you're in a space of let it come to me. I'm not going to force my masculine side to make things happen. I'm going to sit back and allow it to come to me. And as you do so, you are actually creating this portal in the heart space, and it's moving and creating new ideas for the future, faith for the future, but ultimately abundance. So it feels to me like in January you're feeling the flows of abundance kind of showering, coming into your life, being showered with blessings. Okay, and within this there is a sense of a contentment and confidence and gentleness in the month of January. So it's a very strong way to start the year. As you move into February, you start putting your thinking cap on. We've got the King of Swords here, okay? So what you're doing in January, we have this energy of you really looking at the facts and the figures. You're looking for the truth. You're doing your sums. So whatever you are harnessing in January, in creation, ideas for the future, plans ahead, in February you take a you take a step back from that energy. You're still invoking that energy within you, but now you're looking at the finer details, the strategy behind it. For some of you in January, you may have to deal with some sort of, this would be fairly big, it's not something like a day-to-day, it's something that would change, it's quite big in your life, some sort of legal situation, some sort of legal matter, any sort of strong contract or correspondence to do with something for the long term. Okay, so it may be worth in February seeking some extra external advice, some expert advice to help you to really gather your facts and your intel. Okay, this is going to support you in the future, even if it feels that things around you may be unforeseeable. You are gathering your intel and looking almost at like statistics. Okay, and making sure that what your plans for moving forward, or where you stand with regards to your mortgage, your business ventures, your employment, your home property, all of those sorts of things that require bureaucracy, kind of dealing with regulations and systems, that you have all your ducks in a row. That's your focus for February. As we move into March, we've got the Strength card. Now don't worry about this card, because the Strength card basically says you are now entering into a phase of stepping up the level, moving outside your comfort zone, being determined and courageous, and as you do so, you are taming your inner beast. So on a spiritual level, sorry, I just prefer to be cross-legged. On a spiritual level, what you're doing is you're starting to shift your focus about what it is that you desire and how to achieve that. So it feels to me on a spiritual level you are playing with, you doing certain spiritual practices, and it could be very basic in terms of, let me try and imagine that whatever I thought was limiting in the past is actually not limited. Okay, and so you may be toying with fragments of the mind in order to move forward. That's on a spiritual level. As you do so, what you're actually doing is you're opening up your closet of skeletons, and you're kind of going, that doesn't sit in with me anymore. I don't think I want to buy into that concept anymore. Okay, that's on a spiritual level. On a very kind of 3D level, in your reality, you're going to be pushed and squeezed to a degree of kind of, really, it feels to me like a test. And the test is, it feels to me that the people around you are trying to, they're trying to kind of ascertain how committed you are to your vibe. And when I say your vibe, this is anything by the way of a business idea that you've got, or your plans moving forward, because everything is about forward motion, the year of 2024 for you. So it feels to me like you are going to be a little bit kind of tested. You're tested by your conviction moving forward. Okay, so for example, if you have a bright idea to go buy a property abroad or something like that, and perhaps the people around you, your close friends and family, or even your employer says, yes, but Capricorn, have you really got what it takes? Can you really do this? And that can bring about, reflects back to us our own inner demons of where we feel maybe we are lacking. Okay, and it causes us to reassess and to figure that out within ourselves and kind of go, no, yes, I've got what it takes. For some of you as well, this could be the month where you are being pushed a little bit work-wise. So you may be feeling a little bit stretched in terms of the hours that you put in, the energy that you invest into the things that are most important for you. So even with regards to a relationship could be on a little bit of a rocky patch. Okay, but fear not, it is just moving, it's just asking you, it's inviting you to reassess what works for you and what works for the other person. So the Strength card is really all about reassessing our values, understanding what it is at a deeper level, and getting rid of the things that are causing too much limitation in our life, okay? Because going forward is all about freedom. So in a sense, the theme of the year is freedom for you, okay? Onwards and upwards, being free to be where you want to be when you want to be there, okay? Now this shifts into April. This energy kind of clouds your judgment a little bit, okay, with the Moon card. Now the Moon card is a card which talks about how we may not know what the end result is. And with the uncertainty, it could cloud our judgment in terms of our emotional responses to it. Now the full moon talks about a grand final climax. It is an opportunity where something either moves to that climax in order to dispel or dissolve, or it moves to that climax in order for us to just release a negative attachment that was holding us down or keeping us back. Okay, so the Strength card, as you navigate those areas, moving into April, you may feel a bit like uncertain about what the future looks like. Okay, it has everything to do with kind of things a little bit shadowy, things are not quite clear cut. Okay, invite that in, because the Moon card is a major arcana. We all experience that in the great cycle of life. It's one of the cycles, and in one of those cycles, the idea here is to try and move through the energy and operate a sense of faith, knowing that the light will come in. Where things seem a little bit shady now, you will get the foresight, you will get the illumination coming in. Okay? So just move through that energy. Try not to do it all by yourself, because the wolf here is a little bit like a lone wolf. And as we know, wolves actually need to be working in a pack. So if you are feeling a little bit kind of isolated, or like you're holding burdens that you feel like you cannot share them with anybody, I would suggest that it would be worth kind of sharing these ideas or these fears that you perhaps have, or this uncertainty, to help shift out of that and to gain a higher light from it. Fear not, it's all working extremely positive for you, but this is just what's going to be more the forefront, this uncertainty about what's moving forward. You know, you put all your eggs in that basket, you've done all your homework, you've done your work, and now it's a bit like, not so sure. Just move through those energies and allow yourself to use it as a spiritual practice as well, to identify within yourself, why do I feel uncomfortable in this energy? Okay, what that does is it asks you to then shift your focus into choosing faith, into choosing the faith that you have in yourself and the reality you've created around you. Now, moving into May, we have the Chariot. January, February, March, April, May. We have the Chariot. So, where you felt a little bit, oh goodness, everything seems so shady, now you're driving forward in May. So you've taken all that uncertainty because you've done your homework, you've collected the facts, you have taken the courage to move beyond your comfort zone, and you enter into the Chariot. Now the Chariot is also coming up in your Cross of Truth, which we'll talk about shortly at the end of this. But the Chariot is about basically somebody who decides, you know what, I don't care what the rules and the regulations say, I don't care what people around me say, I have an idea, I have a vision, I have a mission, and I'm charging forward. Okay, I'm going to take everything I know with me and everything that I don't know, and I'll learn along the way. And in so doing, I know where my weaknesses and my strengths lie, and I embrace them all, and I'm charging forward in that balance. We see fast action, fast victory, and what you're doing is you're leaving an old paradigm behind you. Now for some of you, it could be a literal move, it could be again a lot of travel that we're talking about. Okay, but you are thrusting forward, and it is a victorious motion forward. Okay, so there is a lot of energy behind you. It's because you've done all the inner work now, right? And then you're driving forward and you're making things happen. As we move into June, you start to become a lot busier than you thought. We've got the Eight of Pentacles, okay? This is the goddess of Durha, I think. I forget now, but I painted this. And this is, it's you are multi-juggling. She's actually the goddess of war, I think. She's a warrior, okay? But she fights for what is right, okay? So you may be multitasking, you may be having your fingers in many pies, okay? Particularly if things have become a little bit uncertain for the future. What I see you doing is you are gathering your resources, you're gathering your skill sets, you're gathering your connections, and you're putting your fingers in many different pies so that you have a little hand on everything despite what may come. Okay, I see you working very, very hard, investing a lot of energy and a lot of time, perhaps even a lot of money in this motion forward. So this could be anything to do with a romantic partner, a family situation, right, where perhaps you are a little bit more overburdened with responsibility. Okay, this could be with the work that you're doing or a vision that you have, and it's employing you to really master your craft. And I see what you're doing is you're leveling up to the task. You're saying, yes, I've got this, I will do this. As we move into July, you get the same card that Taurus got in the same position of King of Pentacles. Now this is you standing very strong in your power, okay? So what you have essentially done is you have manifested the scenario or circumstances to put you in the lead of where things are moving forward, okay? You're definitely going forward anyway, but I see a heightened level of perhaps leadership involved where people are coming to you, asking you for advice, and you have managed, it's weird, like I get this image of, say there's something that you want to get, and you're here, and with all the uncertainty in kind of April time, and even, you know, March, one would normally just take the shortest distance to get to the goal, and instead of going straight forward, because it's so uncertain, I see this huge curve, like, so you may be going off course just a little bit to return to where you want, which would actually be faster than muddling through those uncertain waters, okay? And I feel like that because you come on that, because you arrive at that position, and you're sitting pretty, and now you have a long term, you've formed certain foundations that are going to stand the test of time. It's like, it feels like people are really drawn to you and asking for, well, how the hell did you do it, Capricorn? And Capricorn would say, you know, a magician never tells the secrets. Or it would be, you know, that you are deciding to share your wisdom with others. Ultimately, though, you have set a very strong foothold now, okay? So things are no longer wishy-washy, but you've created a platform very suitable for you that is very earthbound, very solid, and something you can branch up and grow up from, okay? It's like you have prepared the soil good and proper, and you've spent a good half the year doing that, okay? Now, as we move into August, we've got the Knight of Wands. So now, having created and established a solid foundation and a leadership aspect to this, we've got the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands sees you soaring to the skies on a dragon, which is very auspicious, very positive omen, fast movement. And as you soar to the sky, with it comes an abundance of energy, of excitement, of motivation, of enthusiasm, getting things done. And as you soar to the sky, you can have this grand overview of almost like the little pathways of your life, like roots of a tree, and what may be the higher perspective of where you need to go, rather than being kind of in the forest and not seeing your route or your path ahead. You can see it from a very high perspective, and as you do so, you zoom in and you go straight to the core of what it is you want. So there's a lot of action, a lot of momentum, a lot of drive, a lot of excitement, okay? But of course, with every up comes a down, right? It's like the heart monitor in a hospital, you know. If we were always a plateau, we'd be dead. So we need this movement to actually catapult us to move forward. If we think about, so I'm getting this other vision now. So if there was like a stream of water and you had put a few zigzags, or a kind of, you'd created a trail that went up and down, the momentum of the downward spiral pushes you up and it goes down again. Okay, so sometimes we need to dip a little bit, and the dipping I'm seeing here in September for you is you may just be a little bit exhausted. We've got the Four of Swords. Okay, for some of you this could manifest in some sort of illness, okay, some sort of earache, head tension, temple tension, okay, but you are protected because you've got the centaur there, which is Chiron, the wounded healer. Okay, so I would say then September, having exhausted all of your energy in July, you perhaps need a little bit of downtime. Okay, the downtime is to sort of recalibrate the physical body, but it is also to sort of just bring a little bit of peace to the mind, because sometimes when we're on that very strong trajectory and fast motion, the mind becomes a little bit bombarded with too much, and we just need to give ourselves a bit of a break just to add a little bit of peace. So September, you may be feeling a little bit frustrated that you can't keep the momentum going. Don't worry. September is a time to basically chill. Okay, so if you're knowing that now, you could perhaps plan ahead and try and even now book off 2 weeks in September, because you're going to need it. Okay. Now, as we move into October, we've got this kind of having had the time and the space just to relax. You see, when people are busy, it's a very excitable energy and things get done fast, and they know how to handle themselves. But eventually, you know, the fuel runs out and you need to kind of slow down. And initially, we resist healing. We resist we don't afford ourselves the luxury of taking some time to unwind and to relax and to stop, because we're so used to that momentum of getting things done. Okay, and we feel almost kind of nervous and stressed out that we have to stop in amongst everything from after being at this high level. But eventually, as you acclimatize to that rest and relaxation, you gain an inner stillness, which enables you to kind of go, it's not worth all the stress, so let me just relax and move forward. And as this sort of peaceful balance that you have within yourself, as you start off October, now you're looking in a very calm and collected way at all the energies that you've put into something, into particularly this passion that you started driving at the beginning of this year, this going forward, and you're starting to assess it all with the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is in two ways: either reaping, bringing home the harvest, reaping the rewards of the efforts, and in that reaping of the rewards, they're understanding now, okay, fine, what did I put in? Where did I get the most out of what I put in? And you're starting to employ a very, again, analytical aspect of identifying for you where you're getting the return of your efforts in equal measure or more so, and where are you falling short. Okay, now this could be applied in business, it could be applied in health, it could be applied in romances, in connections, in your monetary system. Whatever that means for you, you really are taking an overview of this, because you now have the time, the mental capacity, having done some healing, to kind of go, okay, now let me go back to the drawing board. This is what I got out of all of that energy I invested in. Okay, what is working and what's not. So this is really going to be the theme for October. It may be that you are setting in motions, because the Seven of Pentacles also reminds you that even though you might be bringing home the harvest, you have to prepare the soil to seed it for the next season, to keep that onward cycle moving. Okay, so it feels to me that if you're now taking things again to the next level, because I feel like it's happening twice for you this year with going forward, you are now needing to step things up. In November, we got the Seven of Wands, which is a very protective energy once again, but it's a very, I would say, defensive energy, and it is protecting what is yours. The person in this card is protecting its castle at all costs, okay, and is quite happy to do so. It is also a card of having conviction in what it is that you believe. So it may be that if you've been really dealing with work this year in 2024, you make it happen, in the first half of the year. A few months later, you step it up to the next level to have some sort of leadership aspect. You fire forward, have a bit of a time to recoup and recalibrate, and then you take it to the next level. And by taking it to the next level, you have to once again stand in your power and basically prove your ideas, prove your worth, or evidence your situation to the powers that be who can help, who need to meet you at a particular point. So this could be anything by the way of protecting your property, or maybe putting an investment down for something. Again, it could be connected to some sort of legal aspiration whereby you have to evidence something. I see, because it's turned up, it shows me that you absolutely have all the resources available for you to make it happen. Okay, it really comes down to how much you believe in yourself, all right, and what you've worked hard towards. And you won't know what that is until you've actually evaluated. Okay, so if you've evaluated, it's even got kind of a remnants of like tax return energy, even though tax is normally kind of April in the year, in the UK at least. But this is everything kind of showing, evidencing you've evaluated where you are based on where you were. You can now present it, okay, to enable you to step to the next level. All right, this could even be in a situation, for example, I'm not saying this is the case, but for example, if there was, if a close connection has betrayed you to some degree, you've gathered your intel, and you confront the person, and you say this is what I see, so I can no longer be in your environment. Okay, so it can be applied to any which way that is really strong in your connection, but I do see you standing strong, and you've got the expertise to do this. As we move into December, again the sun is shifted around, and now, well, the earth is shifted around, and now the sun is shining in you, in your sign for your birthday season. And now, Queen of Wands, ooh la la, Capricorn, you are now fired up, you are feisty, you're ballsy, you're bold, you're ready to go, and you're ready to make stuff happen. So it's like we see this full circuit come, obviously it's a full circuit because it's a year, but we see this full circuit, but now you're starting to become, by the end of the year, starting to become a little bit more of a risk taker. I'm not saying an uncalculated risk, it is calculated, but a bit more self-belief. People are noticing you a lot more because you start making big changes in your environment, and you have like luck on your side, which people seem to like kind of scratch their heads and kind of go, how does Capricorn do this? But it's because you have fired up that self-belief in yourself, because you have been asked to step up and you met them at that level, or the systems at that level, okay? And now you are not allowing anybody, any system, or even let alone yourself, to stand in your way moving forward. Very exciting. Now, as we move into the cross of truth, this gives me a very basic idea about the trajectory over the year. Where you are at as a foundation throughout the course of the year makes a lot of sense to me. It's the Judgment card. The reason this makes a lot of sense to me is coupled with the theme of the year of going forward, what is happening for you throughout the course of the year is you keep returning back to the foundation of, I now need to make a decision. Everything is based on my choices as of now. So I see that kind of cyclical system kind of happening. You keep returning back to, it is my decision what I choose. It is my decision what I choose. So that's going to be revisited throughout the course of the year. The desire is that Chariot card I was talking about that was coming up for you in May. The desire is to move forward with exuberance, with victory, understanding exactly what you've got and what you don't have and making it happen anyway. Extremely victorious. So you want victory this year, but you want movement. So for some of you, it will be a year of travel, okay? And maybe the travel is a thing that steps you up a notch, okay? Excuse me. The favorable energy for you over the course of the year is the Page of Cups. So we have this repeated energy coming to you where people have got your back. We have gestures that are coming in. People are recognizing you. They are sharing the love, okay? It feels to me like you, like every month, somebody either gives you a gift or they send you a heartfelt message, and all of these things are fueling you throughout the course of the year. It's like that is a thing that is helping you continue to believe in yourself, continue to strive forward, onwards and upwards. So I feel like you're going to be getting a lot of these messages throughout the course of the year. The challenge for the year is sort of a shift between two things. We've got the Hierophant turning up. Now the Hierophant is all about that spokesperson from the higher realms of spirituality who can bring it down from the ether down into the ground level. But the Hierophant also talks about rules, regulations, systems and structures, the way it's supposed to be done, right? Typical kind of Capricorn trait or Saturn sort of energy, right? In terms of you may be up against repeated challenges through the course of the year in one of two ways or both. In one aspect, you may be having to kind of go against the system. This could be anything by the way of governmental systems, employer strategies, tax regimes, red tape, bureaucracy, all of that, okay? And having to kind of get over that little obstacle and then get over that little obstacle and then get over that little obstacle. It's going to be a repeated theme throughout the year. On the other hand, you'll also be receiving intuitive hits, but then maybe not acting on it. So the challenge may be in how can you bring that idea down to earth, and as you try and pull it down to earth, these endeavors that you have in order to move forward are creating stumbling blocks. But I still believe that you're able to do it, because as it applies in a challenge, you can still achieve the challenge. It just means that you have to kind of think outside the box a little bit. Okay, and you're harnessing the energy, bringing it into your reality for the betterment of all, which is beautiful. The outcome, right, for the year, or repeatedly as you go through and navigate all of these little trip hazards, right, is we got the King of Cups. So you are, as you move throughout the course of the year, you're becoming a lot more self-aware of your emotional body and how your emotional body plays into your decision making and your choices. And it feels to me actually that simple, that it doesn't feel like it's anybody else. It feels like it's your energy that you're harnessing. And as you go through every little obstacle over the course of the year, you keep returning back to the heart space, which is beautiful. And as you do so, again, you kind of slightly recalibrate and kind of go, okay, well, that's where my heart is. Right, let me follow this nudge. Or, oh, that's where my heart is. Okay, let me shift my direction and follow that nudge. Okay, and every time you do that, it's like you're building on your heart space and you're creating, it's like you are, the heart is almost graduating to a place where you rely on it to tell you where you are. So it is beautiful. Capricorn, this is a wonderful reading. I'm going to just get an oracle card to close this reading off of what you need to know from Spirit. What does Capricorn need to know, please, for their highest good for 2024? Okay. The initiation. Rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Okay. So this is very much in line with the Justice card, the Judgment card. And in fact, my deck, the Judgment card looks very much like this Oracle card. If I just grab it and show you, if I can find it quickly. It's important I show you because crossing the threshold is basically that idea of it's always the darkest before dawn, right? It's like you're kind of being a little bit tested, but you're testing yourself. So this is my Judgment card, okay, with the gilded Judgment card, which is very similar to the initiation card. Do you see what I mean? So this return back to self. The heart will inform you where you need to go, okay? What's actually happening for you is you are moving through some uncomfortable territory because you know then the light is at the end of the tunnel is going to pay off. You know that your endeavors is going to pay off. And sometimes it can be a little bit sticky, but this is your rite of passage. This is where you're meant to go. It does have this energy of destiny attached, okay? So I see you are making waves this year. It is fantastic. Now, Capricorn, if you're interested in a personal reading, check out my website, loveitallmore.com. I do readings and I do channelings. On this video now, there will pop up on your screen a video for a channeling I did with Annika Sanja, right? I channel Annika Sanja, and they have expressed their forecast for 2024. So if you're interested in that, click on that button, watch that forecast for 2024. As I said before, you can return to this video at any point during the course of the year to see where you are and move forward. I wish you a blessed 2024, an amazing year, and thank you so much for subscribing, for liking, for commenting, for sharing this video, and I will see you next time. Take care.